In today's video, I meet up with Ben for the first time and he's looking to experience a taster session on what it's like working as a driving instructor. Travelled from Northampton today. You're not messed about, have you?
No.
You've just passed your driving test, yet you're interested in becoming a driving instructor. Annually at 40 hours, 57,180. It's not bad, really. Welcome back to the Go To Driving School YouTube channel. So Ben has come with me today to meet up with me for the very first time and he's looking to experience a taster session on what it's like working as a driving instructor with the potential of becoming a driving instructor.
Yeah.
Today we're going to be looking at MSPSL and using the pedals and getting you doing some instructing, some basic moving off and stopping.
Cool.
Yeah? Good stuff, let's get straight into it. Before the camera started rolling, we agreed that we was going to go for a coffee and just have a chat really over things. So Ben, just before we go any further, what is it that you want to achieve out of today's taster session?
I just kind of get a feel of what it's like to be a driving instructor, because it's all good and fine watching videos and being on the other side, but getting a real feel of what it's like instructing someone and using the dual pedals and that sort of thing. So yeah, it'd be quite cool, and just learning about more about the job.
Yeah, good really, stuff. Yeah. Excellent. So that's what we'll do first of all. Grab a coffee, sit down. Got a few things I could show you that might help you with any questions. Hopefully, you've got a few questions for me as well. But we'll just give an overview, really.
Yeah.
Is that all right?
Awesome. Yeah.
I'll give you directions to Costa then.
Sweet. Let's get going.
Yeah. There's only one way. The way we come in. Yeah.
I don't know how to get out.
It's the way that we walked in through that gate over there.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. Might want to just do a little, if there's nothing behind you, a little brake test and whatnot. You want, get a feel for them.
Yeah, it's quite sharp.
Yeah, they are quite sharp.
Petrol car this is.
It is petrol,
right.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm not judging your driving or anything, Ben, just keep it safe, of course.
Yeah.
I know you've passed your test.
Not worried. Oh, these steering wheels are really small, aren't they?
Yeah.
How are we getting out here?
So we've got a no, well, okay.
It looks like it's blocked.
It says no entry, but yeah, I think it's the way in and out. That sign was before they started the road works. I'd never actually been out of here before.
So much going right.
Yeah, turning right. That guy doesn't look surprised, so we must we must be all right. But no, it's since they started doing the works on the station.
Yeah.
When you get to a roundabout around the corner, just go straight on.
Sweet. Cool.
Second exit. So Ben's travelled down from Northampton.
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah. How's the journey?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Not bad.
All on time, on schedule and stuff?
Yeah, ish. I was. Train not so much.
Yeah. Stay in the right. Yeah, the markings on the approach, left is left only on that one.
Yeah, right, yeah.
So you enjoying your driving then?
Yeah, I enjoy it, yeah. It's good.
Are you sharing a car at the minute, you say?
Yeah, with my sister. Because we passed around the same time.
Oh, okay.
Because I learned to drive significantly later. So she learned to drive when she could, at 17 basically.
Okay. Because how old are you?
20.
20. Yeah, and he was around that age. We were speaking about, becoming an instructor, which we'll touch on again in a little bit. It's left at the roundabout, Ben.
Cool.
So how was learning to drive for you? Was it a good experience? Was it an enjoyable one? Was it?
Yeah, no, I enjoyed it. I would like to say
straight on here.
I would like to say I picked it up relatively quickly.
Yeah.
I'd like to say that. I learned in about 5 months.
Did you?
Yeah. I quite enjoyed it.
Good driving school and that?
Yeah, local driving school.
A local one? Yeah. Did you get more of a personal experience, would you say?
Yeah, for sure. I knew the guy who taught me anyway, because he's a family friend. So
yeah. Gonna be right at the next roundabout. It's 4th exit.
Is it still 2 lanes?
It is 2 lanes here, yeah. So you'll need the right-hand lane for turning right. Yeah, it's 4th exit. Loads of work's going off around here lately. Yeah. Derby's nice in that it's got all the rural areas surrounding, and it's not got that busyness of Nottingham.
Yeah, yeah.
Turn left at the roundabout, and then take the first left into the car park. And then just look for somewhere to pull in then, really. Yeah, through to the next one if you want. Yeah. I'll get your door open.
Get out.
Or God help them when they try and get theirs open. So Ben, let's obviously get into the finer details of becoming a driving instructor. You've travelled from Northampton today. You're not messed about, have you?
No.
You found me. Where did you find me, and what was the story behind that?
Yeah, I found you through YouTube. So I was just coming up to my test. I was looking for kind of like tip videos and the most common ways of failing your test and stuff like that, which probably weren't the best videos to watch before your test. But yeah, I just stumbled across your channel and got watch most of the videos now. So yeah.
You said you've been passed for what, a couple of months now, month and a half?
I think about 2 months. I think
Yeah.
What did I pass? My test was July 13th. So what does that make it? A month and a bit. Yeah.
Cool. I'm glad to hear you say that you had a positive learning experience.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Really interesting meet-up for me. It's a very different dynamic. Because you've just passed your driving test, yet you're interested in becoming a driving instructor.
I would imagine that's quite rare.
Quite, although I have been in this situation before. I've had somebody come with me who he was old enough, but he hadn't quite had enough time with a full license yet. But I did start training him. He did drop out, unfortunately.
Right. Yeah.
Because I mean, the first thing I'll say to you right now is that this process isn't easy.
No.
It's not an easy process, but I think it would be easier for somebody who, number one, wants to do it for the right reasons, and somebody who is fresh out of learning to drive, particularly if you had a good experience with a good trainer.
Yeah.
Because of just watching you drive down there, there's already a lot of the stuff already kind of still there.
Yeah.
And you're still watching the videos, aren't you?
Yeah. I'm constantly trying to assess my own driving and look at things I'm missing. I forgot to check my mirrors, make sure I do that next time and stuff like that. So
it's a winning recipe, that one.
And
credits to you, because not many people are even honest enough with themselves to do that.
Yeah.
Do you feel yourself getting better?
Yeah, I think I'm constantly trying to improve my driving, and although I really didn't like feeling like a learner driver, do you know what I mean?
So you was in a rush to get better.
Yeah, I was
still are?
Yeah, I was quite hard on myself and trying to constantly improve, and still am.
I'm glad to hear that, because that's the exact mentality that I mean, if somebody was joining my driving school, that's an absolute must, you know, to be as good as you can be. And I don't think anything ever is perfect, ever.
No, for sure.
Nothing ever in the history of everything was perfect.
No.
But as long as we keep doing what you said, reflecting and analysing and keep learning, and the aim is to constantly get better. So you said your learning style was a bit different to what you've seen on the video. Just going back to that dynamic again of you watching the videos but learn somewhere completely different, but you use the videos to aid you with learning to drive. So what was the differences in terms of...
Yeah, so I think my props to my instructor, if he's watching this. I don't think he would be, but he was great. We got on really well, and he was a family friend, and my learning experience was really positive. But just in terms of, there's a few differences. I think your kind of style of teaching, from what I can tell, is a little bit more modern, a little bit more progressive, but he's been in the industry for about 25 years now, so and hasn't really changed his teaching style, and I think that worked for me, but I'm sure for some people it's a bit you know, iffy, just in terms of kind of setting objectives at the start of the lesson and stuff, and more kind of there's something you do also, which I found interesting. You always ask the customer how much instruction you want to give them. My instructor never did that, so he kind of just like said something when he thought it was necessary and stuff.
I do that at times. If I need to say something, I will. But it's all pushing towards, or it is client-centered learning now, and it's all revolves around the client, you know. Now and again, and unfortunately, the negative comments stick. You can't help but read the negative comments again. Personally, every comment comes through me first. Sometimes, if something's just not productive for the channel and involving people, I'll just delete it. But you've got to be careful not to tread on free speech there, I think, as well. So regarding teaching styles, it's just bringing structure to the lesson, and like you say, involving the customer and jogging their memory and trying to bring that person back to where they left off in a bid to save time. This conversation is relevant because instructors are tested periodically, and it's called a standards check. And you test it against 17 criteria, which I'll just show you quickly. So this is my standards check, and basically you're assessed against these. It used to be role playing, it used to be very sort of old fashioned, and the industry's kind of waking up, I would refer to it as. So we've got lesson planning and loads of different sub headings here. Did the trainer identify the pupils' learning goals and needs? Was the agreed lesson structure appropriate for the pupils' experience and ability? Were the practice areas suitable? Was the lesson plan adapted when appropriate to help the pupil towards their learning goals? And then you've got the risk management, which is appropriate for that beginning little talk as well, like what you were saying. How much help do you want? Or sometimes it might be me tell them how much, but almost include them in that decision as well. So it's just let's say client-centered, but including the learner, and then they go different teaching and learning strategies. So that's a little bit about what that is at the beginning, and I have cut that down, the time on that. I watched some of my old videos back, and I used to recap a lot of things, maybe everything that went wrong. Not wrong, but that could be improved. So if I watch a video back now from about 2 years ago, I'll think, God, maybe there is a bit too much talking at the beginning of this. I've never had anybody actually say that to me, but then again, how often am I assessed? And that's the thing with this industry, it's quite a lonely kind of place, and I think the more we can come together as an industry and build it, and build the reputation back up, the better. Anyway, you've driven the car, you've been watching the car in the videos. What's the differences? How does it feel? Is it what you expected?
I think it's quite nice. I like the fact that it's more of a sporty car. I definitely didn't learn in a sporty car, and now I have a Toyota Aygo, which is as far as sporty as you can get. It's nice.
Good stuff. You made contact with me via Facebook, didn't you? Just tell the viewers a little bit about what that contact was and where your mind was at that point.
So I just reached out to Matt on the Facebook group because I was I was thinking about potentially becoming a driving instructor, but I didn't have much information on it. I'd done some research on the internet and found some videos, but a lot of the things were kind of contradicting or not that helpful, or kind of just going around in circles. So I decided it would be most beneficial to reach out to Matt and ask some questions and learn a bit more about the job to kind of help me make that decision.
Good, and that's what today's about. Now, you requested the book that I've put together, and the book is What's It Really Like Working as a Driving Instructor. It's a 50-page book, and it's just an insight as to my thoughts on the job. How did you find the book?
That was really useful, yeah, for sure. Yeah. It was also interesting to read from other driving instructors and their kind of experience and training and stuff like that, yeah.
So there's a few different case studies in here on different driving instructors and their accounts on the job, information on, let me just find the index. So we've got the current situation in the industry, a bit about myself, the qualification process, the pros and cons, when you're qualified, and then what it's really like. Say instructor case studies, choice of tuition vehicle, self-employment, personal satisfaction, job satisfaction. There certainly is that with this job. Are you suitable? That's a big one. A lot of people get into this job for the wrong reasons. Beware the hidden cost of cheap training. And then just a summary. So What's it really like working as a driving instructor? Have you ever wondered? If you'd like to know more, then you can buy a copy of my book, What's It Really Like Working as a Driving Instructor, in the link here. It's 99p. All monies raised from the sale of these books will go towards new equipment, so a foot camera, different cameras, different shots, making better videos. So if you've ever wondered what's it really like working as a driving instructor, and you like some in-depth insights from somebody who's been actually doing the job for some time, then hit the link here and in the description below. Let's get back to the video. Cheers, guys. My mindset's changed quite a lot with the instructor training in terms of taking people on, because I've took on a few people so far since I started this journey, and a lot of them haven't completed the course. The biggest reason, I think, is because it takes so much time and dedication. And you'll almost feel like at times like you reach the learning plateau, you know, where you can't shift it, but it takes time and dedication. So it's not easy. That's why my mindset has shifted, in that I probably will make the course a little bit more expensive than it was, in order to only attract people who really want to do it, committed to it, and actually want to work with me. Because I'm going to go through with you a little bit later some of the benefits of being involved with Go-To Driving School. I really feel like myself and the driving school is at the forefront of taking this industry in the direction it needs to go in terms of pricing, business.
Definitely got a feel of that. Just looking on your website and stuff like that, for sure.
Good, I'm glad. Glad to hear that. What do you know about the qualification process? I think you know a little bit about it, don't you?
Yeah, so I'm aware it's kind of like a 3-step process. So you do another theory test, which I'm assuming is a little bit more in detail and a little bit more in depth than the one I took to pass.
Is just tighter boundaries, and there's more questions.
Oh right, yeah.
So there's 100. So the hazard perception's the same, and there's 100 questions.
Right, okay.
And the boundaries are quite tight on it, basically. So without going into finer details, yeah.
And then you do your practical driving test, which is, I'm assuming, quite similar to what you do to pass.
That's an hour long, and you'll do 2 manoeuvres, possibly an emergency stop, and you're only allowed to get 6 driver faults.
Oh right, okay. Cool.
Yeah, sat-nav time's the same.
I passed with 5, so
that's good.
I feel a bit alright.
That's good. So you'd only have to have 1 extra manoeuvre. Did you do the emergency stop on your
I did, yeah.
So that's an extra thing to have to get right, isn't it, if you get it, I guess?
Yeah.
So that's good. Did you pass first time, you say?
I did, yeah. Yeah.
Really good.
5 faults, yeah.
Really good. And then the part 3, which is the tricky bit, which is so as long as you understand the theory behind the skills, and you've learned the skills, it's then learning how to put them forwards in part 3, which is the biggest part. So I'm now running a 50-hour course. I did try 40 for one customer, and in order to bring prices down, I think my mindset was going the wrong way then. It must be a 50-hour course minimum.
Yeah.
might even make that more
Yeah.
as time goes on.
I've seen a lot of kind of 60 hours.
Yeah.
Around the bit place. Yeah.
You're investing in your future career.
Yeah.
And it is a career if you're good at it.
Sure.
If you want to be good at this job, it is a career, and the sky's the limit with it, really. I mean, there's no cap on pricing, you know.
Yeah.
And all the different things that you can do that associates with this business. I mean, take a look at what I've done with a YouTube channel and different things like that, you know. Yeah. So yeah, once you pass, then you're assessed with, if you get a B, instructors get an A or B or fail.
Yeah.
They just have to pass, basically. So then, if you get a B, you'll be assessed every 2 years. If you get an A, you'll be assessed every 4 years, and that's that 17 criteria that I talked about. Cool. So, what's your expectations of the job? What would you expect? What would being a driving instructor give and bring to your life? What would you want it to?
I think kind of a lot of freedom and flexibility to kind of do your job how you want to do your job in a sense, to an extent, obviously.
Yeah.
But you know, kind of the hours you work and stuff like that. That's a massive thing for me.
Because what you're doing at the moment, then?
I work in a school, so it sounds really boring. I'm an exams and data manager.
Do you enjoy it?
I do enjoy it, actually. Yeah? It doesn't sound like something you would enjoy, but I do enjoy it. I've only been doing it for half a year, but no, I do enjoy it, and it's quite interesting. I actually work at the same place as my mum, so I work in the same office as her,
that's an interesting dynamic.
Which is interesting.
Do you get on?
Yeah, we do.
Good.
Very well.
Good.
Yeah, so that's it. Obviously, that's kind of 9 to 5 days a week, quite strict. And I'd like a little bit of freedom and a little flexibility, and also I'm really interested in cars and driving. It's just something that interests me for some reason.
Yeah.
Not sure why. It just does.
Same with me. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just I find it interesting, and I think I'd really enjoy it. And I kind of enjoy the teaching aspect of things. At one point, I was considering becoming a teacher. Working at a school and everything.
Yeah.
My mum's a teacher as well, so
yeah.
I know a lot about that job and stuff, and I really enjoy teaching. But I thought teaching at a school was a bit much for me, so I thought kind of teaching a practical skill or like a life skill to kind of older students as well. Would be a bit more suited to me, I would say.
In terms of getting into the job for the right reason, that, I mean, you're ticking the boxes for me there, you know. And whether you decide to train with myself or whatever you decide to do, if you decide to do the job, I'm sure that you'll stick with it.
Yeah.
A lot of people get into the job and then within the first year or two, you don't see them anymore.
Yeah, no.
That happens a lot. There's a high dropout rate.
Yeah.
It's important that you're interested in it all.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah. Because you can earn decent money in this. There's a lot of talk online and stuff with things to say that you can't earn decent money. You can, but you have to be business-like.
Yeah.
You have to run this like a business, not like you're teaching your mates to drive. And become too pally with people. You know, you can't.
Yeah.
You do, but in the right way. You know.
Yeah.
It's amazing for me. I mean, I've got 2 young kids, so I can just work it all around the school schedule.
Yeah.
And because I earn a decent wage per hour, I believe it's the best, the highest rate within my local area, which I'm very happy about.
Yeah.
And that would surprise a lot of people, you know. And even when I tell people that I'm probably the most expensive, so, you know, when it comes up a conversation with friends or whatever, I say, "Oh, be careful. This, you know, be careful. And are you sure you want to do that?" Well, it's that mindset and that mentality as to why nobody got anywhere ever.
Yeah.
Because they're scared to step outside of the normal box, you know.
Yeah.
It's definitely something that can flourish if you put the right stuff in, you know.
Yeah.
I only do about 20 hours a week personally,
Right,
less.
Yeah.
Yet I still earn a decent whack at the end of the month, and I work when I want to.
Yeah.
And I answer to nobody. It's great.
Yeah.
It literally is great, and I love it. I love the job.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that this YouTube thing grows and the school grows, but I still always want to stay teaching.
Yeah.
That's something I always would want to do, personally. Even if it's 4 hours a week, 6 hours a week, you know, a couple of customers. We've talked about when you could start training. I mean, you could actually start learning everything that you need to learn before it's time We mentioned that before,
I was thinking about that, trying to get hold of some books and stuff like that.
Did you do any more research into that at all?
Not particularly, no.
The books that you'd need, right, are these three.
Oh, that looks fun.
Yeah, so it's Know Your Traffic Signs.
Yeah.
The Highway Code.
Yeah.
This is an awesome book. The DVSA's Official Guide to Better Driving.
Right, okay.
Really good book, that, in terms of self-analysis and reflection.
Yeah.
And this is probably the best one, but not the only one that you should have driving the essential skills.
Right.
Now, links to these videos will be in the description of this video.
Cool.
But if you wanted to start studying, then these are the right place to find it. Also, what I do is I use another online resource called Driving Instructor TV. Don't know if you've ever heard of it.
I've never heard of it, no.
So again, the link will be above my head here, and it will also be in the description below. So that will direct you to their site, and I use that with my PDIs, their accompanying workbooks and everything. Cool. And that just ties everything together. Also, at the time of recording this video, I am releasing 50-hour series of driving instructor training. So I'll be taking somebody, Richard his name is, I'll be taking him right from the very beginning to becoming a fully qualified driving instructor. Yeah. Lots of stuff that you can be taking.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one.
I'm excited as to what that'll bring to the channel. It'll potentially bring in a new audience, but I don't think it's been done before, and it'll show people firsthand what it entails.
Yeah, I definitely couldn't find anything online about that. So
there is some stuff, but it's often stuff that you have to pay for.
Oh, right. Okay.
And that isn't necessarily on YouTube.
No, I'm not going to pay for it.
It's something I've considered, but I think you've got to give a little sometimes.
Yeah.
And if you show people what you can do,
you're going to get a lot back.
You're going to get more back.
Yeah.
So it's having that faith for me. Again, looking at it in a bit from a business point of view. Yes, I could monetize it, I guess. So I made a little course, Learn to Drive. I was going to monetize that, but I'm going to release that for free as well.
Right, okay,
and that's something that's coming out imminently. So it's the Learn to Drive online course.
Yeah.
We was talking about the qualification. You can be doing all the training, but you just can't take your part one until you have held the license for 3 years and you're 21.
Yeah.
Then the other thing is that you're fit and proper. So what do you think fit and proper means?
I'm assuming that means about general health and eyesight and stuff like that.
Yeah. So we talked about the eyesight check. And that you haven't got normally more than 6 points on the license.
Yeah.
And so have you got anything like that? Anything? And any criminal convictions could be picked up on, because they'll do a DBS check. So before you can start this process.
I have that for school anyway. Yeah.
Yes, it would have to be a separate one for this specifically. Yeah. So what you'd do is you just go on the Gov website and you'd click on Apply to become a driving instructor. And you would just follow that process, really. Yeah. And you just have to get checked, and then you would have that certificate back saying, yes, Ben's fine to do this job, and then you would apply to the DVSA registrar, and they would say, yeah, okay, you can start this process. Cool. Instructional characteristics. What characteristics do you think you'd need to become a good instructor?
I guess you need to be good with people, good at communication, good patience, good driving, obviously. Just be able to get on with students well and guide them through the process.
Yeah, you definitely need to be a good driver.
Yeah, that's important. Yeah.
Because if you're going to identify problems or help people with their driving, you need to understand how yours is at its best.
Yeah.
So I think being a confident driver is key.
Yeah.
Characteristics. If you're not a confident driver, at the point where you start training, I've had that a couple of times with a couple of people who have trained with me, and because they aren't confident, it's not something you can really train and teach.
You kind of need it.
You kind of got to have that bit about you in the first place, I think. Because these people are often people that have been driving for a long time. So would you say you're a confident driver?
I would like to think so.
Yeah. I think in terms of characteristics, you need to be able to look people in the eye and speak to them. You need to be aware of body language and your own. You need to be aware of personal space. And you need to be a good listener. A lot of the things that you need to pick up on are the things that aren't said. Obviously it's a lot more in depth, and to understand that there could be many ways of achieving the same outcome. Is
Yeah.
it safe and is it effective? Because if it is, we'll just coach them through the process. It doesn't have to be my way or the highway, do you know what I mean? We've talked about training materials suggested, so there's a couple of things for you that you could consider. All the tests are conducted by the DVSA, the same people that did your driving test. We talked a little bit about tests earlier. As you go through the process, if you did go through the process, you can opt for a trainee licence, which is a pink badge.
Right, okay, cool.
So there you can see there's my actual green badge to say that I'm a qualified instructor.
Yeah.
And that one is trainee, as you can see. It's different shape, different colour. So this permits you to, whilst training, work and get paid.
Right, okay.
So when you pass your part 2, you can then apply for one of these.
Right, okay, cool.
So so it's quite good, because obviously this is the point where you will need to have a car. You will need to have invested into that. So there is a bit of, at some point in this process, there is a bit where there's a bit of a leap of faith that needs to be done. And you kind of know, if somebody's not really cracking on with a part 2, and they're still not cracking on with a part 2, and they're not developing the commentary, and they're not expanding, that's why I wouldn't buy a car until you've probably around that stage, on the way to part 2 booked, and we know we're there, or part 2's just been passed and something's already organised, it's just picking it up. But it all kind of can happen quite quick, because I think it's not something you want to drag out, this process.
No.
You don't want it too quick, because you want to be able to reflect and process. But if it's too long, you're going to be forgetting bits, I think, because it's such a change. I think it's important that it's fresh. I think about 6 months is normally a good time frame.
Right, yeah.
Anything earlier can be done. 3 months can be done, but that's a big push. That's a big push. And I normally do about 2 hours, 3 hour blocks each week. And it depends on the person's, when they're free, when they're not free. As to what they can do per week. Based on what I've said so far, is this something that is sounding even better to you, or?
For sure, yeah.
What would your plans be in terms of getting the ball rolling with this, if you wanted to, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I need to, obviously I'm living in Northampton still, and I'm pretty enthusiastic about training with you. So I need to think about getting up to Derby and stuff, and obviously being in a financial position to train as well. So yeah, I've got a few bits to get sorted before I get on it, but 3 years. So
yeah, definitely. Because what you could do, depending on how much you wanted to do this, is you could get yourself literally ready. Literally ready. And at the point where you go for part 1, you're ready for part 3. You could do it that way. And that would save you a lot of time. There's no reason why you couldn't do that, and at the moment you're in the best position. Just pass your test, like driving. You've had good training, good experience, and you're inspired to do it. So I'd keep chipping away at it if I were you. Yeah, you'd need to sort out a car, and get the insurance and whatnot. I sent you a list of the typical earnings.
You did, yeah.
Did it surprise you?
It did.
Because what did you find online?
It did.
In terms of earnings,
I found a lot of reports that weren't so good. And I wasn't necessarily put off by them, but in terms of thinking about, how I'm gonna support myself and possibly a family in the future, I was thinking, this is not a lot of money. So I was quite surprised to learn that you can actually earn them.
Now, this could ruffle a few feathers, but I'm going to put this out there for this video. These earnings are based on my driving school. They aren't, the only thing that they haven't had taken off is tax, which is 20% of your annual income. And you don't pay tax on earnings up to the first 11,850 also. All right, and then it's 20%. My franchise is a 48-week franchise. You get 4 weeks free as well.
Cool.
So that's a month with no franchise fee.
Yeah.
I'll give a list of some of the benefits of being in the franchise in a little bit. This will give you a bit more information. You can take that print off away as well. Cool. I've entitled it "Why Choose a Go-To Franchise."
Yeah.
So the average, the general expenses, the insurance.
Yeah.
About £40 a month, £50 a month.
Right. Okay.
All right. So it's nothing out of the ordinary.
Yeah. It's no more than I'm paying now.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
And the thing is with it is you've had quite extensive training, and then you've got dual controls.
Yeah.
They will ask about grading.
Right. Yeah.
Your instructor grade, because they are specific insurers, but there's loads of them.
Yeah,
it's not a really niche thing, you know.
No.
The fuel per month. So in this car, it's a little bit more thirsty because it's a GTI.
Yeah.
But that was my choice.
Yeah.
But in my old car, I filled up once a week. Fuel price is about the same as now. Obviously, it's always up and down, but it's always generally expensive. So just leave it at that. But yeah, about 200 a month.
Right. Okay.
50 quid a week. That was a diesel car though.
Oh, again, I wouldn't say that's any more than I'm paying now.
Exactly.
The miles I'm doing, yeah.
Exactly. And contract hire on a tuition vehicle. So I pay 296. Well, let's say 300. Full-time franchise, 300 a month.
Yeah.
All right. So when you add all that up, I've not got the total actually. I should have worked that out. But basically, 30 hours paid tuition for go-to driving school at £35 an hour is £1,050 weekly, and that's after all of those expenses have been taken off. 40 hours is 1,400 weekly, 5,600 monthly. But again, 40 hours is a lot of hours, because with this job, the thing is, you're travelling as well.
Yeah.
And also you need a little bit of break in between. And also, I mean, I work in 2-hour lessons because from a business standpoint it makes sense. From a learning standpoint, I think it allows...
I think it's more useful.
Yeah, what did you do, 1 or 2?
I had 1 hour lessons. I had a few 2-hour lessons, like my first one and a few of them later were 2 hours. And I think I found the 2 hours more useful because you kind of get into the swing of things, and I think you'd learn more in 2 hours, I would say. Yeah,
it works well. It's all I've ever done, really. It was a bit of good advice that I got from the first driving school that I was with, the one that I trained with. Bit of good advice there, but it's definitely the way to go. There's less downtime.
Yeah.
And the customers win as well. So yeah, monthly at 30 hours after expenses is so at 30 hours, 3,365. That isn't with the annual tax took off. That is with expenses taken away though.
Yeah.
Monthly at 40 hours, 4,765. Annually at 30 hours with all expenses taken off, not minus tax, 40,380. And annually at 40 hours, 57,180. It's not bad, really.
It's not bad at all, because I heard a lot of 15 to 20 grand being thrown about.
These are people who are running this nothing like a business. And I think you've got to keep investing in yourself as well to have the confidence to actually say, look, if you can't afford that, or you don't want to pay that, or you don't see the value in paying that, that's fine. But you're not my customer.
Yeah. It makes sense.
Because I've got such a passion for the job that I only really want to teach people who really want to learn.
Yes.
Maybe people who have already done a bit of research and want to learn with me.
That was me, yeah. That was me, for sure.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's where I think, because if you've got the right dynamic, the lessons are going to be fun, interesting, they're going to work well.
Yeah.
You know,
I thought, watching the videos, I thought your relationship with Jack and like the kind of conversations you had were like really interesting and stuff like that. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was very comfortable.
Yeah.
And that's because I think Jack didn't have any limitations either with the way he thought about things.
Yeah.
He never considered that he couldn't do anything or that he wasn't good enough. He just, okay.
Went for it, yeah.
And I think that's a massive thing in terms of, don't put limitations on yourself.
Yeah.
Just go for it, and I enjoy most working with those types of people. You know,
the
price, you see, acts as almost like a filter,
Mm-hmm.
because think of the industry. The industry's been damaged heavily with silly deals. I mean, what's the silliest deal you've seen stuck on the side of a car?
Ooh, ridiculous things like if you buy them in like 5-hour blocks or something, or you get the first 5 hours for a discounted price, and ridiculous stuff like that.
We won't mention any names, but if you think of I mean, this is just one I'm plucking off the top of my head. I can't remember who it's with. 5 lessons for £56 or £59 or whatever. I mean, that's you're not even earning any money.
No.
And let alone be motivated.
Yeah.
I want to be motivated and inspired to do the best job I possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
With that, I'm feeling a little bit regretful that I even turned up, I would do.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. You know, looking into different driving schools and training with different driving schools. Kind of, these deals sound good in theory, but when you're really thinking about it, what your instructor is actually earning from it is very, very little.
So where's the motivation? Where's the will to do better, to keep... How is that instructor going to keep pushing themselves to learn more and be better? That's something that I'm going to document soon on the YouTube channel as well. I'm going to get myself on some extra courses, a bit more CPD, some extra actual... Because I do a lot of business orientated stuff, more so. But I want to get on some extra training courses so I can learn some more skills, practical skills with different people. So I mean, if there's anybody watching who offers extra training, or who would like to incorporate into the videos and document it that way, then please get in touch and drop a comment in the section below. So yeah, that's something I'll be looking at. So yeah, the price acts as a filter, and I generally don't get people who ring me up and say, how much are driving lessons? I don't want that. I want people who ring me up and who have already done the research, because why would you leave it till you ring somebody up to ask the price? Because you wouldn't want to use just any old body, would you? Would you?
Well, I was quite lucky. I knew the person I trained with anyway, so I didn't really have to go through the research process. I texted him and I said, you got a free slot, and he said yeah. So
you invested in that person. Did you know what the price was when you rang them?
I did. Yeah,
okay.
I did.
But I bet you, if you didn't know it, you still would have rung them, still, because you wanted to use them.
Oh yeah, it wasn't really. I thought I was quite lucky my parents paid. So.
Yeah, oh, really?
Yeah.
Look at you. I think I paid for my own. I think my mum helped me a little bit. But yeah, so the industry was plagued with these deals, and what my price does, it will scare those people off. Because I've worked so hard on getting an online presence, I rank really well.
Yeah.
On page 1. Twice at the top. So the phone's ringing all the time, and the beauty is, because the phone's ringing all the time, it allows me to be a little bit more selective with where I work, who I work with, the surrounding factors. So if somebody rings me up and says, I've got my test next week, the instructor's bailed on me, I'm not. That smells fishy to me. I don't need that. You know, and there's loads of different things like that. So it's a filter. Now, some of the other benefits. Would you like me to share some of the benefits of Go-To Driving School that you may not be aware of?
That'd be excellent.
All right then. Right. So the other benefits is prepaid driving lessons.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
What that means is that the driving lessons are paid for 48 hours in advance. So straight into my bank account, before I actually turn up. If that payment isn't put in place, then I might not turn up. Well, I won't turn up, and I will look to book another appointment in place of that. Because what happens is, otherwise you waste time turning up somewhere and nobody's there. They never had any intention of taking the lesson, or they've took Bob because he was cheaper and he rang them back after us. You know, so that's a really good one there, and more and more people are starting to implement this now. Again, running it like a business.
It makes sense.
It's a proper appointment. If somebody cancels within that 48 hours, you have still got your lesson paid for. Now the thing is, you can't often fill a lesson in 48 hours. So that's a loss of earnings, and you're still going to be paid for it. Of course, you need to use human common sense as to if you think somebody's been really genuine and you've built up that trust. But generally, I have a better level of clientele anyway. So those two policies kind of go hand in hand, and you need to use best judgment. But it's there, and if you aren't happy with somebody, you can kind of use that as a tool to say, yeah, well, you still owe me the money. If they don't like it, then they can go and learn with somebody else, maybe. It makes push become a shove sometimes to your own advantage. Look, and it has to work for you first and foremost. You're the instructor. You're the one who's put all the effort and the gamble into being into this job, into the training, into the investment. It has to work for you first. A lot of instructors are what I hear about and see. They're working here, there, and everywhere, an hour here, hour there, and it doesn't work for them.
No.
They're doing the weekends because it works for their customer.
Yeah.
That's great, but is that really? Think about why we go to work in the first place.
Yeah.
It's got to work for you first and
It's
foremost.
still got to be fun. You still got to enjoy it, I think.
Exactly. Yeah. That's why. So going back to the hours. I mean, I don't work weekends. I don't work evenings. I literally work between 9:30 and 3.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah.
I might do the odd thing here and there.
Yeah.
But that's my choice, and that's what I love about it.
Yeah.
If I want to do it, I will.
Yeah.
If I don't, I won't.
Yeah.
And sometimes, if I want to fill one of those gaps, if I get a customer who just wants 1 or 2 sessions, and I know that.
Yeah.
Great, because that's not a long-term commitment.
Yeah,
then.
yeah.
If I get a new beginner who says, "Oh, I want to learn to drive on a 4 p.m. on a Thursday evening," I don't think so. Not at this stage in the game.
Right. Yeah.
No, I have done.
Yeah.
And I've done lots of it, and
Yeah.
I've sacrificed my family time, my kids growing up and that.
Yeah.
But that's why I got into this job, so I can not be in that situation anymore. And that's the beauty of it. So we don't offer any deals. We and this is what I say to people when they ring me up. I compete on quality, not price. Yeah. It's a losing battle if you start competing on price because it's immeasurable.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm the cheapest. Are you? Oh well, more fool you then.
Yeah.
What does that really reflect?
Also, if the quality of teaching is not there, then you're just going to end up spending more hours, which eventually is just going to be more money.
This is it.
So
this is it. There's free standards check training in the franchise. So when you do, if you trained with myself and you qualified, then when you get your brown letter, on the envelope saying that they're inviting you for your first standards check, then we'll meet up and go over some training.
Cool.
Yeah. An hourly rate, £35 an hour. We've mentioned that. So I've got an instructor who's trained with me who works in Swadlincote, and that area is a different area to Derby, and that area is asking for £27 an hour, but in Derby 35, and always looking to push it even further really. But again, that's why Go-To has to remain almost selective, is what I've learned over the last 12 months, almost selective with who I take on board to become an instructor, because this price point won't work for people who aren't going to be in that top 1% of instructors in Derby.
You've got to be the best.
Yeah. In terms of the franchise, there'll also be the use of an accountant.
Yeah. Cool.
4 weeks free franchise a year. We'll always try and sell lessons as 2-hour slots because it's less downtime for you.
Yeah.
No clocking up the extra mileage, using more fuel in between lessons.
Yeah.
All the admin will be done on your behalf should you decide to join the franchise. Alternatively, you can train without joining the franchise. It's completely up to you. There is no contract or tie-in with myself, and that's the big thing as well. By being involved in the franchise, when you do finish, you do finish.
Yeah.
You might have to do a bit of lesson prep, particularly if you're new to the job, in terms of what you're doing the day after or whatever. That's the beauty of it. So it'll be done from the admin side from Go-To. You'll also be linked up to the shared diary.
All right.
So we'll be able to see what you've got booked in, and you can pencil out slots where you want to be off or you never want booking, and just keep informed like that.
That's really useful, actually.
Yeah, so it's all just linked together, syncs together.
Yeah.
I wouldn't encourage you to work evenings or weekends. If you turn around to me and said, I don't want to work them, I'd say, I completely respect that. Don't then.
Yeah.
And so you could leave me with a list saying, Matt, could you get me lessons on a Monday, Wednesday and Friday? Yeah, great. I'll do that then for you.
Cool.
I'm always there to offer support.
Yeah.
This is my baby, really, so it's in my best interest that everybody's happy and the ship is sailing.
Yeah. I mean, the
True.
amount of support and help you've given me so far has been invaluable, so
Good.
it's been great.
Good stuff. I'm really happy to hear that. No contract. We'll take all the risk in terms of the franchise. you won't pay anything until you've got 10 active pupils.
Cool.
So that'll work out as 20 hours, or should do, because we only generally sell them as 2-hour slots.
Yeah.
Then you'll start paying your franchise.
Yeah.
So they're actually earning something.
That's
Yeah.
good.
So that's fair.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Get some uniform included.
Cool.
So stuff like this, you can
Yeah.
choose black, white, t-shirts,
Yeah.
shirts, whatever you want. Loyalty bonus, so when you're with us for 2 years, you'll get the franchise at a reduced rate by £40 on a full-time franchise.
Cool.
4 weeks franchise free, as I said, and regular meetups really,
Yeah.
because it's important that we remain part of a team, almost like a community,
An actual school.
an actual school.
Yeah.
Because any schools that I've been a part of earlier on in my career didn't really feel like a school.
Yeah.
I didn't know. There was a lot of instructors who worked for the same school, but I didn't know any of them, or
Yeah,
I didn't, and it was all a bit. I don't know. It all just seemed a bit weird, really.
Mm-hmm.
The type of people that work there just seemed a bit weird. Like,
Yeah.
and I don't want that. I want it to be refreshing,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
That we share the same ethos, really, and that's about delivering the best driving lessons to people in the local area. So that's a little bit more about the company. Any thoughts, any questions so far before we get into the driving part?
No, I think that's good.